From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse, sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning and Happy New Year. This is Craig Allison with your first Morning Pulse of 2026 for this Friday, January 2nd. We had some technical difficulties on the morning show this morning. We put out the wrong question of the day, so maybe here live you're getting it for the first time, but here it is in case you missed it. Nearly 40% of young men say sports are only interesting if this is involved. What is it? Well, that answer was gambling. Brandon and I were thrown so far off because we thought that it related more so to the participants of the sport, but I guess it's more for the viewers. So there you have it. And in case you want to participate in future questions of the day, be sure to look out for our Facebook post where you can post your answer, and we show some of those on the show. But getting right into our headlines, we'll start off on the international side. Grief and tragedy are opening the new year at a high-end ski resort in the town of Crans-Montana, Switzerland. Officials say about 40 people are dead and roughly 115 are injured after a fire. Authorities say it broke out in a bar during a New Year's celebration. Some victims appear to be foreign nationals, but officials say identifying everyone could take days. They say they're not sure how the tragedy unfolded. It's unclear if the bar was at capacity or if the width of the staircase was a factor, but some witnesses blame a holiday tradition at the bar that included sparklers. Again, this is just happening, so we'll be sure to keep you updated as we learn more about this very tragic situation overseas. Your second story, and getting back to local headlines, an already destroyed North Lincoln garage caught fire again yesterday morning due to illegal New Year's fireworks. Lincoln Fire and Rescue was called to the area of Potter and North 31st Streets just after 11 a.m. yesterday. According to LFR, the garage had previously been destroyed after a fire back in August of 2025. The still charred roof caught fire after New Year's fireworks landed on it and smoldered before igniting. Fireworks during New Year's are illegal in Lincoln. No damage estimate was given due to the structure being considered a total loss a few months ago. Kicking off to some better news, exciting stuff for one family as they gave birth to the first baby born in Lincoln this year at Bryan Medical Center. The baby girl was born Thursday morning at 12:21 a.m., weighing 8 pounds and 7 ounces. Her mother, Paige Petts, and father, Andrew Petts, have one other child who was also born on a holiday, Thanksgiving. Petts' family says they were not expecting this at all. The baby was due on the 7th of January, and her mother's water broke on New Year's Eve early in the morning. The pair didn't know the gender and were pleasantly surprised when they found out it was a girl, though they say their 2-year-old son has been telling them for a while that it was going to be a girl.
My contractions were coming when I would walk, and that's it. Anytime I stopped walking, they would kind of subside. So we walked like 28,000 steps. And that's how we got her out. And
in case you're wondering about that story, 28,000 steps is about 8 to 9 miles. Certainly no small feat there. Family is eager to get their little one home, but again, a huge congratulations to the Petts family. Your fourth story this morning, a group of state lawmakers sent a letter Wednesday asking Nebraska's Secretary of State Bob Evnen to explain his talks with the federal government over the release of sensitive voter information. From the Nebraska Examiner back in October. Evnen told the 5 senators who sent the letter he would not turn over the voter data due to ongoing litigation. But a few weeks ago, there was concern expressed that Evnen was still talking to the DOJ, prompting the senators to send this letter. Spokesperson for Evnen said he is not negotiating with the DOJ for a memorandum of understanding, nor has he signed an agreement. Now, for your fifth story, we have a look ahead with the legislative session kicking off on January 7th. Nebraska's 49 state senators will gather at the Capitol, working to rectify a budget crisis while ensuring their own priorities get heard. In the last session, they tackled everything from women's sports to cell phone bans in schools and balancing the state budget. They only have 60 days to do it. By April 17th, senators hope to balance the state's budget, but as more than one senator said, the session is likely going to get very interesting. There in a number of issues is including the multi-million-dollar budget deficit. There's concern on affordability for working Nebraskans, keeping bathrooms segregated by gender assigned at birth, ensuring child care subsidies don't get sunset, dealing with the expense of brand inspections for ranchers, and increasing social media protections for children. Lots and lots of updates that we'll be following here at 1011 Now. Our own Darsha Dodge has the full breakdown on our website, 1011now.com, and you can be sure to follow us there and on Roku for all the latest coming out of the Capitol. Now throwing things over to your final story this morning, a New Year's Day polar plunge in the Pacific Northwest could be one for the record books. Thousands of people stripped down to their bathing suits and jumped into the ice-cold water yesterday in Birch Bay, Washington. They're hoping to break the Guinness World Record for the largest polar plunge ever recorded. Norway currently holds the record with just over 3,000 participants, but one person at Thursday's plunge said they had nearly 5,000 take part. Now, to count, participants had to follow a few rules, like remaining waist deep in the frigid water for at least a full minute. They're still waiting for official word from Guinness on if they broke the record. That'd be so cool if they did, though, but my goodness, a minute in the frigid water. That sounds pretty terrible. And with thousands of others also partaking, that sounds absolutely nuts. But that's going to be your morning pulse for this Friday morning. We'll wrap things up with a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, be sure to stick with the 1011 Now weather app because we have a weather alert day in place for today.
Good Friday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. Dense fog advisory in place until noon today for part of central Nebraska and north central Kansas, as visibility could be 1/4 of a mile or less. Winter weather advisory in place for part of central and eastern Nebraska through the day and into this evening. Ice accumulation of a glaze to 1/10 of an inch possible. Snowfall accumulation of a trace to an inch possible. While that's not a lot of accumulation, it is just enough that we may see some slick conditions develop, so we have a weather alert day in place for today. We'll see a 20 to 40% chance of drizzle, freezing rain, sleet, and snow mid-morning through mid-afternoon. Then in central and eastern Nebraska, late afternoon into the evening, it's a 40 to 60% chance of wintry mix and snow, precipitation done by midnight. Temperatures at noon today in the mid-20s to low 50s, at 4, upper 20s to low 50s across the state.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse, sponsored by Murray Roofing. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.